When you think of the legendary 49ers dynasty of the 1980s, names like Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, and Dwight Clark come to mind. But behind every great team, there are key role players who contribute to championships. One of those players was Mike Wilson.
If you want to make $100, we're going to go to Vegas. Easy way to make a quick $100. Ask a guy, can you name the 3 wide receivers in NFL history who have 4 Super Bowl rings as players? They're going to say Michael Irvin with the Cowboys. They're going to say Jerry Rice. They're going to bounce all over the page. But it's Lynn Swann, John Stallworth, and me. So we're the 3 guys in NFL history with the 4 bowl rings. So, hey, man, I'm telling you, Ray, that's money right there, dog.
Before he became a 4-time Super Bowl champion, Wilson was a standout wide receiver at Washington State University. His size, hands, and football IQ made him a promising prospect.
Out of all the sports, the least I liked was football. I was All-American in basketball and football coming out my senior year. The football coach at Carson High School came to me and said, hey, Mike, if you come out for football, I guarantee you a scholarship. A scholarship, that was music to my ears. That was my motivation. That's what made me want to come out and play football. I ended up going to Washington State because they were really the only team on the West Coast throwing the ball.
In the 1981 NFL Draft, he was selected by the Dallas Cowboys in the 9th round. Though the Cowboys drafted him, Wilson never played a regular season game for Dallas.
The Cowboys drafted 2 wide receivers my year, one in the 2nd round, me in the 9th. Honestly, that year in preseason, I led the team in catches. Come into week 4, I was released and they kept the other guy. That was a surprise. Somebody came and said, bring your playbook, go see Coach Landry. I'm thinking he gonna tell me something good. And he said, hey man, it's a numbers game and we're gonna have to let you go. But fortunately for me, before I even got on the plane, the 49ers had called me up. I flew to San Fran. They signed me, sight unseen, just one workout.
Joe Montana. And it's complete. Wilson takes it.
I just wanted an opportunity to play. Thank goodness for Bill Walsh and Sam Weiss saw something in me that gave me an opportunity to come and play with the 49ers. And once I made the team, I wasn't giving it up.
Under Bill Walsh, Wilson found himself in one of the greatest offensive systems of all time. He may not have been a star, but he was a reliable piece of a championship puzzle.
Has time, has a receiver, has a touchdown. Mike Wilson, the rookie from Washington State.
I was a California guy, so San Francisco was a perfect match for me. I didn't want to get hit. I was honestly scared to death out there, man. I'm like, what am I doing? But my discipline to learn the skills and techniques needed to play a position allowed me to ascend.
Mike Wilson, number 85.
Before winning their first Super Bowl, the 49ers had to take down the powerhouse Cowboys in the NFC Championship. With less than a minute left, Joe Montana rolled right and found Dwight Clark in the back of the end zone for the catch, sealing a 28-27 victory. It was a defining moment in NFL history, sending San Francisco to their first Super Bowl. For Mike Wilson, it was personal. He had been cut by Dallas, but now he was heading to the biggest stage with the team that believed in him. Super Bowl 16.
We had like 22 rookies on that team in 81. The key to the offense for us was Joe Montana. Joe was perceived as an underachiever. He was a 3rd-round pick out of Notre Dame. This guy was not supposed to do what he was going to do.
Looking and does throw. Pass caught. Mike Wilson kept his feet in bounds. It's a 49er first down.
In just his rookie year, Wilson was part of the team that shocked the NFL by defeating the Bengals 26-21, securing San Francisco's first ever Super Bowl title. Though not a primary target, Wilson contributed as a backup receiver in Bill Walsh's West Coast offense.
There was a goal. The goal was we had never won a championship. Then once you win a championship, all of a sudden that bar is set.
Montana keeps it back in. Suspected blitz. Fires a shot out to Mike Wilson. Second-year man out of Washington State. His first reception of this young season.
From high school, college to the pros, I tried to do the best I could, bring my A game.
And for Mike Wilson, watch the collision here. Wilson kept his concentration on the ball. He got hit.
Me coming out, I was 6'4", 218. I had all the measurables and the speed to play in the league.
Mike Wilson had a rare build for a wide receiver in the 1980s. At a time when most receivers were smaller and relied on speed, Wilson used his size to his advantage, shielding defenders, winning contested catches, and creating mismatches against smaller defensive backs.
Montana wants a bundle, going it deep, and taken by Mike Wilson, third-year man out of Washington State.
And what an adjustment to the ball there. As you can see, he's got his man almost beat. Montana gets the ball up right away. He's looking over his right foot, and look at this. Look at this adjustment to the ball.
That's just concentration, keeping your eye on the ball.
Maximize your opportunity and make the most of it. And that's how I would summarize my experience with the Niners.
Montana looking for Mike Wilson, and Wilson out of bounds into LA territory. And Wilson has it first. Mike Wilson gets most of his playing time coming in and relieving Dwight Clark. About Clark's size with great speed.
From the 35, Montana throwing the middle. Completes to Wilson. Mike Wilson. 33-yard pass play.
Mike Wilson is one of those guys, one of those real talented wide receivers that's also big. So in the middle, you've got a plus. But once he breaks free, it looks like he's gone.
Best quarterbacks in the league in gaining yards in a hurry, stopping the clock, using the clock well, and getting into scoring position. You're looking at him. And Mike Wilson down the sidelines. Mike Wilson, who's gotten better and better and seen more playing time, and he's really had 4 productive games in a row.
We asked him how he's going to feel about not starting this one with Freddie Solomon back, and he said, that's okay with me. He said they have 8 or 9 plays in there for me, and that must have been one of them.
He's having his best year in his third season, formerly with the Cowboys, number 85. Montana with a fake into the middle, goes long over the top. Completes it to Mike Wilson, and Wilson is out to the 41-yard line. And he has the 49er first down. Big shoes to fill for him. Dwight Clark, of course, their leading receiver, and Montana's favorite target the last few years is out, and Wilson has taken his place. But in talking to Dwight Clark Friday at practice, he said, hey, this guy is bigger than I am and faster than I am. He's got all the tools. Montana looking to end zone, looking for Wilson. Touchdown! To Mike Wilson.
Wilson just runs it out. Montana hits him right there. That's a pretty good move there by Wilson. Bill Walsh, he called Wilson's number and he sent him in with a play. We saw him right there go in. That's a good move there by Mike Wilson.
Excellent. Again they throw. And again, Wilson is open.
And I had the natural instinct to watch what people were doing, but then I said, okay, this is what I need to do. There was a lot of small things that built up to what allowed me to last 10 years. They were bringing guys in every year to take a spot. So that competitive side of me was always there from even high school. For me, it was just a matter of, believing in myself, because there's a lot of naysayers in all sports, and they'll tell you can't do it. You're setting your goal too high. I never allowed that to influence my ability to go out and do what I needed to do. As long as I had an opportunity. Hey man, you gotta go out and get it. You can't let anybody tell you what you can't do. So that was important.
From Green, the former world-class sprinter.
But he keeps looking back now. With his height at 6'4", he should turn around and stiff arm the little guy right on his helmet, skip out of it, but it's a 44-yard gain.
I just knew what I needed to accomplish going to the Dallas Cowboys to see Drew Pearson and Tony Hill work. And I'm like, man, I got as good a work ethic and I can do what they can do with my athletic ability. To then come to the Niners and watch Freddie Solomon, Dwight Clark, and then, of course, the great Jerry and John Taylor come along. And I showed them a few things. And I'm like, man, you got to score points. So I realized that, okay, this is what I need to do. That's really what drove me, was maybe being able to think outside the box and realize what I have to accomplish.
Wilson had 12 catches in the playoffs last year for the 49ers, had 8 against the Redskins in the NFC Championship game for 2 touchdowns. He's a more than capable backup. He could be starting for a lot of people.
For me, the one thing that nobody talks about, the intangible, man, I accepted my role.
Wilson was never the go-to receiver, but he embraced his role. Backing up legends like Dwight Clark and later Jerry Rice, he made the most of his chances. Whether it was clutch third-down conversions or key blocks in the run game, Wilson contributed in ways that didn't always make the stat sheet.
Mike Wilson was picked up by the 49ers 4 years ago. He was the last cut of the Dallas Cowboys, and the 49ers had him spotted when he was at Washington State, liked him, and when Dallas let him go, they grabbed him, and he has done nothing but contribute.
Secondaries forget about him. You know, they figure, well, they can't get off fast enough to run a good out, but number 85 can. Mike Wilson. Well, he's beginning to fit into the diversified plan of Walsh's too, isn't it?
Great receiver. You remember Mike Wilson from last year when he came on for Dwight Clark in the playoff games and performed so well. He's quality.
You know, someone that could have used this guy here, this Mike Wilson, this year was the Dallas Cowboys. They had him in camp 3 years ago, waived him, picked him up, and he's been with the 49ers. Under pressure, Montana finds Mike Wilson. He does that so well, does Montana. This is what separates Joe Montana from most other quarterbacks. Mike Wilson is coming to the game. Montana has Mike Wilson open, and he hammers into Giant territory.
Training and getting your body right is the one thing that you can control. You got to be in shape. And so there's a lot of things that I brought to the table that allowed me to play almost a decade with no surgeries, and I attribute that to being in shape.
By 1984, Wilson had gained more experience, playing behind Dwight Clark in a dominant 49ers squad that finished 18-1. Super Bowl 19, San Francisco crushed Dan Marino's Dolphins 38-16, further solidifying their place as an elite franchise.
He has the greatest ability to make things happen. Here you'll see him. Joe just gives him a little limp leg and takes off down the sideline.
In our ability to win the first 2 championships, I had a great time, enjoyed it. You check your ego at the door. The one thing that I learned from my personal growth is that you have a role on that particular team. And so my role was to do whatever I had to do with Freddie and Dwight starting. But we were a 3-receiver formation most of the time in games that allowed me to play as if I was a starter. That's where ego's out the door, and I'm just doing whatever I could to help contribute to win the Super Bowl, win games, to go from America's team to probably one of the worst teams to now we were one of the winningest teams in the NFL. It was quite an experience.
That's Jerry Rice, the rookie out of Mississippi Valley State. Play action. Montana puts it up. It's Mike Wilson. Wilson was wide open. He had got inside of Mike Harden.
While he wasn't the fastest receiver on the field, his strength, length, and football IQ made him an invaluable piece of San Francisco's championship offense.
My 5th year, Jerry Rice came along. This young brother worked his ass off. I mean, you're talking about a work ethic that I had never seen before. And I used to train with Jerry, me and Jerry and Roger Craig. We get our workout in. You would never see my name associated with them two, but they known for their workouts. We used to work out, get it done. In the afternoon, when they were done, then I go work out with Ronnie Lott. with old school workout.
Mike Wilson, who bounces off a defender, may go all the way. And Mike Wilson is in for the touchdown. And the 49ers regain the lead on a 52-yard play. And Wilson, a big, strong guy. He's about 215 pounds. Very strong for a wide receiver. Took the blow, and that got him in the end zone. 9 catches for Wilson this year, 2 of them for touchdowns. Mike Wilson been kind of a forgotten man this year with the addition of Jerry Rice. He used to come in quite a bit for Dwight Clark and Freddie Solomon.
It's still a matter of just developing yourself to the maximum. Don't get stuck in thinking that you've arrived, because if you stop working, you start working.
And I appreciated the fact that Bill Walsh, in his creative, genius ways of putting me in a situation to be successful, moving me around. I, as a wide receiver, also lined up in the backfield as a running back or fullback or as tight end.
Montana throws wide open, touchdown to Jerry Rice. No Tampa Bay Buck anywhere near him, and Montana throws him a perfect pass for the touchdown. And the very familiar Joe Montana reaction.
It was really me, Freddie Solomon, and Dwight Clark. And guess what? In the second half of my career, it was me, Jerry Rice, and John Taylor.
Out of the shotgun on first down, he's got his man Wilson. First down out to the 43-yard line. You get a good idea of just how strong Kemp's arm is. Montana again with time. He's got a man open. Touchdown! Mike Wilson. So the 49ers finally put something together and a super pass. Montana.
I just wanted to catch more balls and allow myself to help my team win. You got to get out your own way. If you could just go ahead and handle your business, it's going to be okay. You've been blessed with some talent. Now go out and take advantage of it. I never aspired to play in the NFL until I'm watching a commentator say, hey, Mike Wilson might be a first-round pick someday. I'm like, what? So I focused in and watched the game. I'm like, I could do what Lynn Swan and John Stallworth are doing. So I could do that. And then I saw it from a different perspective, but I didn't even aspire to it.
And Wilson go to the far side, right to the near side. Here's Montana throwing for the end zone. Right, he got it! Touchdown, 49ers!
That's unbelievable.
It was the most ecstatic moment we've had in a long time, because we got a victory out of what looked as though a sure defeat, and it catapulted us into a great season.
He's a big guy, Mike Wilson, 220 pounds, and he had his career longest catch, 52 yards against these Saints 2 years ago. Montana completes it to Wilson, who has the first down, and he ought to buy him a dinner. Mike Wilson with another 12-yard reception. He's taken the Niners out of deep trouble. Jerry Rice, 1st and 10 on the 14, and the look-in pass will go for a touchdown to Mike Wilson. Exactly what happened, and Wilson was there. Van Gates defending, and a 14-yard scoring pass.
I learned the whole offense. I could play XZ. We went into 12 or Tiger. I could line up as a tight end. I could line up in the backfield. So for me, it was a unique thing. And my aptitude and ability to learn really helped me with my talent skills. So that was key. It's just a matter of having the discipline, of trying to be the best. So my philosophy, to be honest with you, was that I wanted to be the best in my technique and my fundamentals that would allow me to, in coming in and out that route, to not stumble and fall, and also to focus in on that ball.
Going for the touchdown to Wilson. Did he make it? He kicked the pylon. No, he's going to be a half a yard out with 6 seconds left.
When the 49ers drafted Jerry Rice in 1985, it was clear he was destined for greatness. Rice quickly became the team's top receiving threat, making clutch plays and putting up historic numbers. But while Rice dominated defenses, Mike Wilson remained a key contributor, stepping in to finish drives, make critical catches, and keep the offense moving. Wilson wasn't the first option. but he was always ready when called upon. If Rice set up the big play, Wilson was there to capitalize, whether it was hauling in a touchdown or making a crucial block to extend a drive. He played his role to perfection, proving that even in the shadow of a legend, there was always room for a reliable playmaker.
I just really tried to hone in on my technique and my skills and develop myself so that whenever I got an opportunity to catch a ball, I wanted to take it to the house and knew that this position is about being a playmaker.
His physicality made him a reliable target, especially in key moments when the 49ers needed a tough catch over the middle or a crucial block in the run game.
I truly believe that the great years for the San Francisco 49ers are ahead.
Bill Walsh had a tendency to get a lot of guys. You can have all the systems you want. I mean, if you got to go out and execute. We were that same offense that was a machine. Bill Walsh's West Coast, and you had guys who could do it. And then you bring in a superstar like Jerry Rice. That guy could catch a slant and take it to the house. I could take it to the house. John Taylor could do it. Now we just had a standard and a level of performance that we didn't care what the rest of the league was doing.
In 1988, Mike Wilson had a chance to leave San Francisco and nearly signed with the Green Bay Packers. However, instead of making the move, he chose to stay with the 49ers.
I flew into Green Bay, 4 feet of snow, cold. I did the workout. And so I said, man, you know what? I'm going to stay a Niner. And so I flew back. Whatever little money that I thought I'd get from Green Bay, which I didn't. We made it in playoff money. Sometimes you got to also play the game within the game and understand what you're dealing with. Grass ain't always green on the other side. Okay, thank you, Plan B. Thank you, Green Bay. But yeah, I stayed in San Fran, and we won 2 Super Bowls back to back that year and the following year. I got 2 more Super Bowl rings to add to my 2 I already had. After a while, it just became contagious. Guys came in the locker room, and they bought into what we were doing. And if they didn't, I was one of the few guys that would check them along with other guys. So it all worked out.
Super Bowl 23. This one was a battle to the very end. Joe Montana's legendary game-winning drive against the Bengals featured contributions from multiple receivers, including Wilson, who played his role in securing the dramatic 20-16 victory.
I thought our Niner teams, man, we just set the bar, and as teams came along, man, we just were consistent, and consistency is what won championships for us. Yeah, I saw 1,000 athletes come through in those 10 years of me being there trying to take my job. I was obviously on the board to be replaced, but you got to believe in yourself. You got to know how to compete.
Young completes to Michael Wilson. Wilson, first down, displaying good second effort.
It's really simple. I don't care what sport you're in. Continue to work and be the best you can be. Behind me, I got the 4 championship teams, 81, 84, 88, 89. Out of those 5 guys who were on all 4 teams, Lott, Montana, Turner, and Wright, all those guys were drafted by the Niners. I was a free agent.
Winning is contagious, and we found a way to get it done. So this is a desired place to come for a lot of NFL players around the league. We have something special. We know how to practice and play, and do what it takes to win a championship.
Find the good in each other. As athletes, you got to find the best in yourself that will allow you to go out there and compete. I deserve to be here too.
Super Bowl 24, Wilson's final Super Bowl appearance, came in one of the most dominant performances in NFL history, a 55-10 destruction of the Denver Broncos. By this point, Wilson's veteran leadership was invaluable as the 49ers cemented their dynasty.
I think for us, it's just a matter of guys believing in the coaches, believing in each other. At the end of the day, you can prepare, and then you got to go out on Sunday and you get tested. And that's game day. That's when you got to do what you've been paid to do. And that was, to me, what separated us from other teams.
4 rings, 4 championship teams. Mike Wilson was a key part of the 49ers' success, proving that greatness isn't just about star power, but about every player playing their role to perfection.
You got to get out your own way. Sometimes that's my favorite. You got to get out your own way, dog. If you can just go ahead and handle your business, it's going to be okay. You've been blessed with some talent. Now go out and take advantage of it.
competition week after week. I thrive on winning.
Week after week, my reputation's on the line every time I go to bat, just like the guys at Sunnyvale Ford.
Yeah! Sunnyvale Ford, they challenge the competition to beat their deals.
To beat their financing! To beat their selection!
Sunnyvale Ford, they don't just beat the other guys' prices, they crush them.
Yeah!
I had no idea I would put in 10 years and win 4 Super Bowls and play with the great Joe Montana. So it was fun.
Mike Wilson's journey with the 49ers saw him play a role in 4 Super Bowl winning teams, cementing his place in the franchise's dynasty. Mike Wilson's career is a testament to perseverance and playing your role to perfection. He may not have been the face of the franchise, but he was a champion 4 times over, a true unsung hero of the 49ers dynasty. What do you think of Mike Wilson's career? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more football history.